right, let's take a look around this car. It is oxidized. You can see the paint needs a little bit of help. As I go around, there's all sorts of swirl marks and everything else. This actually is one of the nicer parts right there, but I've got this really awful kind of oily look to it. The hood is an absolute disaster right now, so I'm kind of doing a little walk around so I can see what the car looks like. A little bird poop. Got this going on. In fact, I got to take this off before I start. All right, I got that off, and now you can see why I needed to get that taken off. So all around, the paint is pretty rough on this. Like, I touch it and you can really see the oxidation just come right off. So that's what I'm gonna do. I've even taken the emblems off, and you can see there's some remnants of where they were at. Covered up that hole, which is the one screw hole on this. I probably should take off the license plate and start from there. So I live in an apartment complex, so this has to be my power washer. And this connects to this little bucket. It's all battery powered. You can see it actually pumps out. So I'm gonna spray it down, and then I'm gonna take the mitt and wash it down and go from there. All right, this is after I've washed it, and this is gonna be closer to what it looks like when it's done. But before I do the next step, which is the clay bar, I actually have to dry it and then wet it with the clay bar stuff. So makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? I love how clean the wheels come with that power washer. And by the way, if you ever use this power washer, if you ever buy this one, just know that on the back, there's this little thing that says high-low. You want to make sure that's in the high section. Otherwise, the low is kind of garbage. I mean, the thing isn't the best, but for my situation, you know, I can do this without power. I can have a power washer, and I don't need gas, so it works. So now we're on to the fun stuff here. This is clay barring. So I've got my luber, which smells awesome, by the way. Love the smell of this stuff. And then I'm going over everything with this piece of clay, and it picks up all sorts of impurities. You can actually see, like, I've got a lot of junk on this because tomorrow I'm going to be rubbing my polisher on this. You don't want to be rubbing a bunch of grit. It's basically the gist of that. So, you know, when you rub your hand across the car and your paint and it hasn't been clay barred, it's like gritty kind of feeling. But when you come over here, it's nice and smooth because it's been clay barred. So you put the lube on, you do the clay bar, and then you come back and wipe it all down, and that should take care of most of the impurities in the paint. My car has a lot, I think, so hopefully this works. All right, just finished up my pass on the clay bar. You can tell it's not quite there yet. In fact, you can really see a difference between this part with the oxidation and this part. But what you notice is you can hardly even hear me put my hand across it. It's not like sandpapery anymore, but it looks a heck of a lot better. I can tell the difference, maybe not to the naked eye. It still has a little bit of that. It's not quite shiny, and my goal is this to be like absolute mirror finish tomorrow. Didn't quite get all of the emblem stuff off, but to be honest, I'm not really concerned about that because the emblem's going to cover it up anyway. This is not a show car. This is a 100% daily driver. I do have, you can kind of see some little spots in there. Those are rust, and going over the car the other day, I noticed it, and it was kind of part of the reason for doing this. This is after a year in the Florida sun, so it's for real down here. and I had been washing it pretty regularly. I had actually been going through car washes. I was waxing it by hand every once in a while. It simply wasn't enough. It needed a correction and a full-on ceramic wax coat on it. So that's it for tonight. I'm gonna let it sit and dry, and hopefully it doesn't rain. And then I can buff it tomorrow. It's the next morning, and it's 6:30. I'm out here and got the car ready to go. I gotta dry it off. This is the danger of doing this so early. There's always dew on it this time of day. A bird came and pooped on it, so I can't have that. I gotta clean that up before I start. I gotta go inside and get a towel, and I'm probably gonna get a coffee and come back out and start polishing this. Alright, so I got my coffee and got my buffer, I got my chemicals, and I'm going to start back here. Now this actually looks pretty good, but if you get close up to this, there's actually quite a few problems with it, and it's not quite as clear as it could be. And I'd actually consider this to be a heavy job that I've got to do, because I also have little tiny spots like that, and then I've got this to deal with. So what I'm going to start is I'm going to start on the trunk and work my way around the car and see how far I can get before it gets too hot. I'm fighting the sun coming up that way. You can see, you can actually see a line where I did it. So I barely even pushed down because I don't want to push into this paint. This is an old car with single stage paint actually, so it's kind of delicate that way. But this is the heavy duty stuff, so I want to do a pass on the whole car with this, come back around and do it with the high end stuff. All right, we're 2 hours after I started, and I was only able to get one polish coat on this. This is like the strongest one that they've got. I still got to do like a finishing one, and you can kind of see some streaking, but I'm not really even concerned about that because I'm going to come back to this anyway. But overall, I mean, mid-process here, I had like 3 different people stop and, hey, look at that, you know, because it looks so much better than it did. So I fought the sun as valiantly as I can, but it won. So that's it for now. Maybe I can come back to it tonight, but at this point, this is such a great start. Still got some swirling in it, and hopefully that comes out with the high polish stuff. But overall, my God, it looks so much better.